Haven't done one of these in a while, so I thought I'd give you guys a little glance at what it looks like when I do a bunch of work on a shuttle bus. So this is a 2012 Chevrolet Express 4500 with a Duramax diesel. And the first problem it came in for was low coolant. The driver said that there was a low coolant warning displayed on the instrument cluster message area. So I topped off the coolant and it just poured right back out. And the only thing leaking, the power steering fluid was leaking. It had engine oil leaking, transmission fluid leaking. There was just about everything on this thing was leaking. So I found the water pump was leaking and the coolant crossover gaskets were leaking there. So all that had to come out. But that wasn't the only thing that was leaking either. The oil cooler was leaking, the radiator was leaking, both hoses were leaking. Everything was leaking on this thing. Even the temperature sensor on the thermostat housing was leaking. So that resulted in just the teardown time was about 10 hours to get to this point. And whenever they've got one of these buses, the question becomes, where do you stop working? What do you, where do you draw the line? Where do you decide, okay, we're gonna do this while we're here, but we're not gonna do that? And so basically, what I decided to do is just everything on the front of the engine. So it's getting all new pulleys, the belt tensioners and the idlers. The steering gear is another thing that leaks like crazy on these because, you know, it's just a shuttle bus that goes to and from an airport. So they put a lot of hours on these things. This bus only has 130,000 miles on it, but it has over 13,000 engine hours. So they only average about 10 miles an hour in these things. A lot of idle time, a lot of engine run time. But I've got a new steering gear on there, the new booster, because those like to leak as well. I replaced every single power steering line. It's also getting a new pump. Idler and pitman arms are new. Transmission cooler lines are new. The water pump is new. There's a whole lot of new stuff that has to go on here yet. I'm just waiting for parts. The other thing I did too, and this happens a lot as well, this is where the AC evaporator goes. Your blower motor sits right in here and the AC evaporator on these things clogs up. I'll show you here in a little bit. But while we were at it, we also decided to do the EGR valve and the EGR cooler. That's another problem we see with these diesels all the time. These coolers just clog up instantly. So I'm gonna put a cooler and a valve on it. There's just no sense in cleaning the cooler out. It just doesn't work. So it's expensive, but it's really the only right way to repair it to get it to last for a while. Over here, some parts you can see the AC evaporator is just getting stopped up. Again, this is another one of those things we've tried to clean out, but it just really doesn't work. It's so much more time and cost effective to just replace it. So all those are out. Tested both alternators, they're good, so those won't get replaced. Blower motor was replaced not too long ago. There's your power steering reservoir, the auxiliary transmission cooler, and the condenser up there. The radiator and the intercooler I've got sitting outside at the moment just to save space in the garage. But it's a maze. Actually, it's more like a puzzle when you go to put all this back together. You know, the other thing too, harmonic balancer here. So the coolant and the oil leaking from the oil from the front main, coolant from the crossover gaskets and the thermostat housing. So you can see ate up the harmonic balancer. So that's going to be replaced as well. But yeah, it's a real job. Like I said, it was about 10 hours just to disassemble everything. So assembly time is going to be even more. Yeah, there's a power steering pump. I'll be putting that one on. That's a new one. And that's a crossover pipe going from the oil cooler to the water pump. There's the oil cooler itself, the old one and the new one, and power steering pump pulley. And yeah, this is quite a job. whenever we get one of these that requires this extensive work, it's always better to just do everything while you're at it. For example, like the AC evaporator. I mean, you might as well do it while you're right here, because otherwise you got to pull everything back off all over again. And you might as well just do it while you're here. So that's what we got now. There really aren't many diesels left around the airport, and this is really the reason why. It's because they're all short trips, and the cats go bad, and that ends up cooking the diesel particulate filter. The EGR valves go bad, the EGR coolers clog up, and it just costs thousands of dollars to keep these things running correctly, you know, with no check engine light or nothing. They run great. I mean, they run fantastic when they're running right, but man, whenever you go to work on one of these things, you better have deep pockets, because it's not just the parts that's expensive, it's labor intensive as well. The other thing I've noticed with the 2012s is the injector pumps like to go out, and then they send metal through the entire fuel system, and you got to replace all the injectors. We all know how that goes, and as you can see, that is absolutely no fun to do on these express cutaways, because there's just no room. I mean, on a pickup truck you would have all that open, but here it's all enclosed, and I mean, you can't even get your hand through there hardly. But it's work, you know, definitely keeps you busy. So all I'm waiting on now is parts. Once I get my parts in, this will start going back together. Anyways, thought you guys might be interested in seeing that. That's where I'm at right now.